I think, Fahim, you have asked a very important and a pertinent question. And I think you also shed a light in your intro about the significance of this visit. I personally feel that the world has reached to a stage where I think there is a dire need for the rules and regulations to be established, especially for the AI governance, because now we live in a world where everything is so much interconnected in terms of cloud computing, in terms of artificial intelligence, in terms of how there is mushrooming of the AI technology in every realm, in every sector of life and beyond. And I think that why I say that there was a dire need, because there are now global voices, especially in the global south, that they feel that the AI technology is in the hands of handful countries where there isn't any equitable sort of resources available to global south countries. Let's not forget that 29 countries have signed. This itself signify that how much there are concerns from the global south, that they want to have this kind of not only technology but also to have a sort of AI governance moving forward under the United Nations Charter and framework. That's, I think, it's a big achievement on part of China that everything is now under the United Nations framework. And I think so. Pakistan's participation also signify that Pakistan is not now behaving as a sort of an observer, but is now seriously looking ahead how in CPEC phase two Pakistan can plug in this technology, which is also very much needed in terms of security, in terms of human development, in terms of agriculture, in terms of cyber security, you name it. There are so many areas where AI is part and parcel of our life in general.
Also, Yasir, now that we know that Pakistan is one of the founding members of this organization, so do you think that would accelerate the AI development, technology innovation, and overall digital economy in Pakistan? Would it have any practical positive implications within the country?
Absolutely. I think Pakistan is one of those breeding grounds where we also directly need this sort of technology, because we have the youngest population in the world. We have a lot of untapped resources and potential. The, the delegation who was picked from Pakistan were more or less related to technology and AI related areas. We are moving towards digital economy, which is very important for the CPAC phase two, because that will decide the moving forward Pakistan's development. In terms of industrialization, we are still relying on old methods, obsolete methods. The world has gone ahead. I think the best thing is that China is providing a sort of a platform for the global South countries, that they are making sure that there has to be an equitable distribution, as well as I mentioned earlier, that this was more or less monopolized in the hands of few rich countries, and they were actually using it. But China is just like its concept of community of shared future is also part and parcel of community of shared AI. This is the new concept with which President Xi Jinping has came up with. Let's not forget that President Xi Jinping also came up with innovative concepts like global governance initiative, global development initiative, global civilization initiative, global security initiative. I think this is a new initiative where China is taking the lead, at least in the global south.
Now, as we know, a member, a founding member. Now, practically speaking, which areas and which challenges must Pakistan address in order to maximize the benefits of being a member and digitizing the overall systems in Pakistan and using AI to run all that? Which challenges are there which need to be addressed?
I think moving forward in terms of what are the takeaways, or how Pakistan can mitigate those sort of bottlenecks, which are, I think, they are perennial bottlenecks through which Pakistan couldn't was able to grow itself. So I think, first of all, Pakistan has to develop a comprehensive AI strategy on domestic level. That's extremely important. And then it can move on towards education, towards research, towards cybersecurity, towards governance, towards human capital. But I think for all this to happen as a prerequisite, I think it's important that Pakistan must develop domestic AI capacity. Now, there are some questions as well that who develops AI, who governs AI, who writes the standards. So that's why I think governance is equally important, not only for China, but also for Pakistan as well, especially when we see that there are some security risks are also involved in today's geopolitical arena.
Yasir, thank you for your time and thank you for being Pakistan TV. Yasir Masood, all the way from Beijing, talking to Pakistan TV regarding the AI conference, which was held in Beijing, in the organization which was developed, of which Pakistan was one of the founding members.